Hello, Steve White, Steve Arts 89. Well, the day's finally come. Madonna has performed her first show in the Celebration tour. Now, I did watch most of it through a live stream, but I did miss the first couple of songs. Now, I'd heard she was going to be on stage at 9. I didn't believe it. And that would have been around 7 a.m. Australia time. So I was ready then just in case. And I looked around. I couldn't see any signs that she was on, that she'd started on time. So it was about 10 past 7. I just started doing other things. And I started doing a video actually because I want to talk about the Stuart Price interview and the idea of the stage being like a journey through her career and like a documentary style sort of story of her life and everything, and like a time machine and everything, all these sort of things he was talking about. It was all very interesting. And as I was talking about that, a live stream that I'd clicked on that didn't seem to go anywhere came on. And I could see the stage was lit, and the circular stage seemed to have like neon squares around it, like little, looking through like little picture frames, and then they turned into crosses. And I thought, oh, I think the show's actually on. So I sort of tried to sort of end off my video and that and get onto that. There was no audio though, so I wasn't sure if it was actually on or if it was just sort of some pre-show thing, or just the stage was lit before the show or whatever. But when I turned the audio on, there was actually music. It seemed to be vulgar, which they're referring to, I think, that section as the ritual. And then like a prayer came on. So I missed like the first 7 songs. There was Nothing Really Matters, Everybody, Into the Groove, Burning Up, Open Your Heart, Holiday. Then there's something called The Storm, Live to Tell, which I think was what was on screen when I was doing my video. And then the ritual had vulgar in it, then Like a Prayer, the Sacrifice, Erotic, Erotica. There was like sections of the stage were like boxing rings, and the dancers would dress up like boxers. For a while there was what looked like the bed from Like a Virgin from the Blonde Ambition tour on stage. Then they did Justify My Love, Hung Up, Bad Girl, which she did on a piano in like a red sort of slip dress. There was Vogue, which she had like a black sort of corset, kind of like a black version of the corset from Like a Virgin, like a cross between that and the one that she wore under the suit in Express Yourself. It was all sort of like a combination. And then she did Human Nature, which cut really awkwardly into Crazy for You and The Beast Within, Die Another Day, Don't Tell Me, Mother and Father. She sort of sung that to an image of her mother on one of the screens. She did Little Star as a tribute to Lola, because I think it was her birthday, and she said she'd sing Happy Birthday to her, so she sung some of Little Star. She did I Will Survive, La Isla Bonita, Don't Cry For Me Argentina. She did Bedtime Story in like a cube, which had images projected on all 4 sides, and she was on top of it. And then she got on like a little cage that was sort of hovering around over top of the stage. Then she did Ray of Light, and that's when the live stream cut out. So I didn't see the end, which was I think Rain, Like a Virgin, Bitch I'm Madonna, and then Celebration was the last song. I didn't count 45 or even 40. That I think the count that I have gotten there so far is about 33, including some of the sort of intermissions and stuff. There are a few others I noted that some people haven't noted. Like I heard Love Song for a second, and there was a moment where the stage was purple and it looked like there was someone playing guitar like Prince. There were a few other bits and pieces that I've written down. Did I mention? Yeah, Die Another Day was in there. There was Up Down Sweet was there for a second. There was quite a lot of bits, so I think that was the problem. I mean, it's hard to get a sense of the staging and the visuals when you're watching it through a live stream from just sort of one angle and you're not there. But musically, it was a bit of a mess. It just seemed to be really chaotic, and everything was sort of thrown in and mixed up, and they just seemed to be trying to do too much. And I sort of felt like the second you sort of got used to a song and sort of got into a song, it was sort of, they're on to the next one. And there were moments that you sort of heard moments of a song and you wanted more of it. And in some ways it was good because it sort of left you wanting more, but you sort of never really got what you wanted, and it was sort of frustrating. So I found it musically to be very sort of like chaotic, I think is the best sort of word. I never really feel like there was any real structure or journey, or they don't really feel like they ever really told a story. It just seemed to be all over the place. The staging, the visuals looked nice. I mean, it felt smaller than I thought, and the screens felt quite small. They had 3 main screens at the back, and then they had 2 on either side of the sort of catwalk stages. And a lot of the time they had their own rear projections on them, and they didn't actually have Madonna. So I really felt like it should have been a couple of screens dedicated to just showing Madonna performing and singing, because there were times where I couldn't see her really on the stage and she wasn't on the screens. So I wasn't totally impressed with the staging on that level. But overall, it was interesting. It covered a lot of her musical journey, but I don't really feel there's any real structure to it. And like I said, as soon as you sort of were getting into something, it was sort of over and gone. And there are a lot of things where they were just little hints and little moments and just a couple of lines or just a little bit of a musical hint, and that's sort of all you got. Whereas other ones you sort of got sort of more of the song, but even then they would sort of cut it off short or do a sort of shortened version. And I just sort of never really felt like I really got what I wanted. It just sort of felt just really chaotic, I think is the best word for it, like I said before. And yeah, I'm not sure I can really judge the staging and the visuals because I wasn't there and the live stream wasn't the best angle. But so far as the music, I feel like I really got a sense of that, and it just felt like it was a bit messy, and I'm not really sure they really had any sort of center or focus to it. I'm not really sure the structure was really there. It just seemed all over the place, and I guess that's the closest thing to a review I can do from what I saw. I'm sort of glad I saw it. I wasn't sort of expecting there to be a live stream and to see so much of it. And there's going to be a lot of separate individual shorts and videos to watch. I've already watched a few of the first ones that I missed. And yeah, it's on. She looked okay. She does seem to have lost some weight from all the working out, and she was quite cut, which is something she's always been criticised for being too muscular. And there were some pictures that weren't so flattering, but they're fan photos taken live on stage. They're not going to be as good as stage sort of studio shots and professional shots and filtered shots and all that. So I mean, her hair looked a little shorter. It could have been a wig, but it was sort of blonder and shorter, and she looked like she was in shape. She seemed to be moving okay. She didn't seem to be dancing a lot, but she doesn't need to. She doesn't need to push herself that hard, so I'm glad she didn't. But 7 minutes. I'm going to stop. Feel free to share, like, comment, subscribe. Let me know what you thought. If you're watching one of the live streams, what did you think? If you were there live, tell me what you thought of it. There was another live stream that was sort of upside down that someone had on for a while that was mostly looking up at the lights. So I think there are probably a lot of people watching a lot of very sort of uncoordinated live streams and that, but I'm grateful that they're up. I'm grateful the other fans for doing that, for the other fans who weren't there. But yeah, that's my impression of the Celebration tour from the opening night and from what I saw and what I heard. But we're going to see more of it over the next few days as people sort of get a look at it, get a sense of it, and we'll see how that goes.